Our heritage. Monuments like historical buildings, temples, tombs and pillars are part of a country's heritage. These monuments are examples of the architecture, social, political and religious life, and occupation of the people who lived in the period when these buildings were made. Monuments of India are famous all over the world over, and tourists from various parts of the world come to see them. Monuments in northern India. Taj Mahal. The Taj Mahal is a mausoleum. This monument was built in the mid-17th century in Agra, India. The Taj Mahal was built entirely out of white marble. It was decorated with 28 different varieties of precious and semi-precious stones. 1,000 elephants and 22,000 workers were used in its construction, which took over 20 years. Red Fort. The Red Fort, also called Lal Killa, is a Mughal fort in Old Delhi. It was built by Shah Jahan in the mid-17th century. It remains a major tourist attraction. Massive red sandstone walls of the fort, which stand 75 feet, 23 meters, high, enclose a complex of palaces and entertainment halls, projecting balconies, baths and indoor canals, and geometrical gardens, as well as an ornate mosque. Among the most famous structures of the complex are the Hall of Public Audience, Diwan-i-Am, which has 60 red sandstone pillars supporting a flat roof, and the Hall of Private Audience, Diwan-i-Khas, which is smaller, with a pavilion of white marble. Buland Darwaza. The Buland Darwaza in Fatehpur Sikri, a town in Agra, is a victory gateway built by Emperor Akbar. The Buland Darwaza can be seen from far away. It is beautifully decorated with white marble. The pillars and the chhatris atop the Buland Darwaza contain calligraphic inscriptions from the Quran. But there is one inscription that reads, "The world is a bridge, pass over it, but build no houses on it," which is a reflection on Akbar's religious tolerance, as it was quoted by Jesus Christ. Qutub Minar. The Qutub Minar is the pride of Delhi. The tall minaret was constructed in 1192 by Qutubuddin Aibak, and later completed by his successor Iltutmish. The soaring conical tower is a brick structure cemented with lime and jaggery. It towers 5 stories. Each of the 5 stories of the Qutub Minar has unique designs. The tower is so high that around 379 steps are needed to reach the top. The verses from the Holy Quran are carved on the walls of Qutub Minar. This monument serves the purpose of calling people for prayer in the Quwwatul Islam Mosque. Lotus Temple. This Baha'i house of worship in the city of Delhi is a massive temple that is devoted to the Baha'i faith. This temple is better known as the Lotus Temple because of its massive lotus-like shape. The Lotus Temple was built in 1986. It is one of only 7 such houses of worship in the world. It is also the only worship house of its kind in all of Asia. The temple has become very popular with people of all faiths. In fact, about 10,000 people visit the temple on a daily basis. Jantar Mantar. Jantar Mantar is located in Parliament Street in Connaught Place. It is an astronomical observatory which consists of different structures in sandstone to calculate the movement of celestial bodies and the planetary positions. Astronomical shows are organized yearly where you can get to know about the planets and their position. Monuments in southern India. Shaw Temple. The Shaw Temple, a complex of elegant shrines, is one among a number of Hindu monuments at Mamallapuram, on the coast of Tamil Nadu state, India. It is considered the finest early example of medieval southern Indian temple architecture. Unlike most of its neighbors at the site, it is built of cut stones rather than carved out single rocks. It has 2 shrines, one dedicated to Shiva and the other to Vishnu. Venkateshwara Temple, Tirumala. Tamil ruler of the ancient Tondai Mandalam, present-day Kanchipuram, is believed to have first built the temple after visualizing Lord Vishnu in his dream. Venkateshwara's abode is in the Venkatam Hills near Tirupati, Andhra Pradesh. The main temple of Venkateshwara is the Tirumala Venkateshwara temple. The Tirumala temple is believed to be the richest of all the temples in the world. The temple is located in Chittoor district of Andhra Pradesh, a state in southern India. The Charminar. The Charminar is a splendid piece of architecture standing in the heart of Hyderabad, built by Muhammad Quli Qutub Shah. This magnificent monument is the unique symbol of Hyderabad. Charminar is often called the Arc de Triomphe of the East. It was built to mark the end of a plague epidemic in the city. It was built with granite and lime mortar. The Meenakshi Temple. The Meenakshi Temple is a famous temple at Madurai in Tamil Nadu which has two shrines dedicated to Meenakshi and Sundareshwarar, Shiva. The walls are beautifully carved with forms of various gods and goddesses. There are huge gateways called Gopurams. Monuments in Western India. The Ajanta Caves. The Ajanta Caves, discovered in the 19th century, depict the story of Buddhism. Ajanta has around 30 caves that were all built as secluded retreats for Buddhist monks. The paintings on the walls of Ajanta caves are made using the tempera technique. This is a complex technique where the painting is done on a dry surface after a coating of 1 centimeter thick layer of a mixture made of clay, cow dung and rice husk which is applied on the wall. The color used for the paintings has been made from natural products. The cave temples in Ellora reflect Buddhist as well as Hindu and Jain mythology. Located around 30 kilometers from Aurangabad, Ellora has 34 caves. Monuments in Eastern India. The Sanchi Stoop. During the rule of Ashoka the Great, 84,000 viharas and stupas were built. A stoop is a dome-shaped building that is used to house Buddhist relics or to commemorate significant events of Buddhism. The Sanchi Stoop in Madhya Pradesh is the most famous of these. Stupas may be made of brick and rubble, or encased in masonry. The Great Stoop of Sanchi is 120 feet across, and excluding the railings and umbrella, is 54 feet high. The Sun Temple at Konark. The Sun Temple at Konark is a 13th century temple dedicated to the sun god. The temple, representative of the chariot of the sun with 12 pairs of huge wheels and 7 horses, is a masterpiece of Kalinga architecture. The famous dance festival held at this temple every year is an important event. The Victoria Memorial. The Victoria Memorial in Kolkata is a beautiful building made of white marble. It was built between 1906-21 by the British in memory of Queen Victoria. It houses a large museum today. Care and protection of monuments. Historical monuments are freestanding buildings of tourist interest. They represent our national heritage and culture. It is our duty to preserve and protect these monuments and hand them down to our future generations. The Archaeological Survey of India, ASI, studies the condition of monuments and takes care to protect and maintain them. Damaging these monuments is punishable by law.